Okay, I know today's topic might be sensitive for some of us because we might actually have gone through a situation like this, maybe with a very difficult client. And I want to read out something a client had sent to me on Fiverr. Yeah, so he said, I am sure I am not the only person that these people are scamming, stealing from, wasting time, and hurting. I will use the term people very loosely because real people don't treat each other this way. And my response to him was, I will never scam anyone. I would rather go hungry than do that. Yeah, so the issue was he came into my Fiverr account. He said he wanted to set up his hotspot account. We already agreed on price, on everything, and it was a milestone project. So he placed the order on the first milestone. So we were he gave me his login details to his hotspot account, and I wanted to log in. I was having issues logging in. Yeah, so the password was not correct, and hotspot keep telling me that the password is not correct, that I need to get the correct details. And I keep telling him that this thing is not correct. Can you let me check it from your end? I even did screen recording. I did screen recording to show him the process where those are not correct and I need the correct details. So he said it is correct, that if I'm not able to log in, then it is from my end. I said, okay, fine. Can you give me some time to look through this? I will get back to you ASAP. So I was not able to get solution to it very quickly. So I was trying to research what could be wrong. I was checking if it was my system, if it was my computer. I did a lot of things and I was still not able to log in. I just want you to know that it is very normal for people to be difficult. At some point in your career, you might have difficult clients. It is actually part of the job. But how you handle these situations can either make or break your businesses. And dealing with difficult clients is one of the most challenging aspects of freelancing, especially. But it is also one of the things that you do not want to take for granted, because how you respond not only affects your immediate situation but also your long time reputation and growth as a professional, especially on Fiverr, because the reviews, the feedbacks can actually hurt your Fiverr account. So in this video, I am going to share with you some of the strategies I have developed over the years to handle difficult clients. At the end of this video, you will feel very confident and equipped to turn these challenging situations to an opportunity for success. So whether you are dealing with a client who is never satisfied, trust me, I've been there, or someone that is very unclear about their expectations, or someone that is just outright hostile, like very unkind. So stick around because I have some tips that can help you navigate through these waters like a pro. So over the years, I have come across several types of difficult clients. So let me walk you through some of these common ones. So first, we have the high expectation, low budget clients. Yeah, this clients expect top tier service from you. Like they expect the maximum you can give, they expect the high quality service, and they're not willing to pay for it. So they want the best premium service, but when it comes to you discussing budget with them, they suddenly become very tight budgets, and you're like, I don't understand. You want something as big as this, you don't want to pay for it. That like people who want champagne on a beer budget. And as a freelancer, it can actually be very challenging to navigate this without undervaluing your work, because at the long run you might want to compromise and you might want to give in and bring down your price down for them. So next on the list, we have people that I like to call scope creep. And what I mean about scope creep is that they will start with a very small project at first, but as you get into it, they keep adding tasks, they keep adding details, they keep expanding the scope of the work, and they will never mention that they are going to add additional payments. Yeah, so they start with something small, then they start adding extra things. They will always say something like, oh, could you help me do this one little thing? But as time goes on, these little things start to add up, and before you know it, you're already doing double the work at the same rate. That is not nice. Then we have the free work before commitment clients. God, these people, they're like Thomas. They are always doubting you. They are always doubting your work. Like, Despite having your portfolios, your testimonials, and maybe even your past work for other clients, they are not just satisfied. So what they do is that they say okay, they will be like, let me do this sample work before they can be able to commit the full project to you. So they'll be like, let me do the sample work before we actually move on to the real project. It's their own way of saying that they want to test you before they give you the full project, and they will not want to put any payment on that. So they'll say, just do this one thing for free, and if I like it, I will give you the whole project. But do you know the funny thing? These free samples end up being the only thing that they want from you. So don't get scammed. When they tell you that they want something free from you, it is possible that that is the only thing they want to do. There is no big project anywhere. They just wanted to do that small thing, and that's all. So be careful. And finally, we have the never satisfied clients. Oh Lord, I'm triggered. Because this type of clients, no matter what you do, because this type of clients are actually the most challenging clients. Like, no matter what you do, it is never enough. Like, they will ask you to think outside the box, and when you do, they are not happy with the results. So this type of clients, I actually do not like working with them, because they will ask you to think outside the box. Yes, I want to think outside the box, and when I come up with what I have done, they'll be like, no, I don't think I want this. Okay, so can you tell me what exactly you want? And their response might be like, just make it better, just do something better, just make it better than this. And you will actually realize that they are never satisfied. No matter what you do, they are never ever satisfied. You don't want to work with this kind of clients, because it can be so mentally draining. Yeah, I'm speaking from experience. It can be so exhausting. Like, you will get so tired, and you'll even be doubting yourself. And this type of people, actually, this type of clients, they actually bring down your self-confidence, especially with your work, your self-esteem with your work, because you kind of be thinking, do I really know this work? Yeah, it happens. Okay, so these are just few samples of the type of clients I have encountered, and each one presents its own challenges actually. But with the right strategy, you can actually manage them effectively without compromising your professionalism or even your sanity. Yeah, you need your sanity to be able to work. So the first thing you want to do, my first tip, is to set clear boundaries. Actually, setting clear boundaries is actually very, very important for smooth working relationship. You want to make sure you outline exactly what service you'll be providing, the deadline for each timeline, the payment terms and condition. Like, okay, let me give you an example to make this clearer. Imagine you're a graphic designer and you're working on a logo for a new startup. When you want to draft out the contract, be specific about what is included. So for instance, you might want to write, this project includes 3 initial logo concepts and 2 rounds of revisions. Additional revisions beyond the 2 included will be billed at $50 per round. So you should also specify the project timeline, don't forget that. So you can say the final logo will be delivered within 2 weeks from the initial date of the initial concept approval. And of course, and also very important, I think this is very, very also important, you also want to clearly state your payment terms and conditions. So you can say something like a 50% deposit is required upfront, with the remaining 50% due upon the final delivery of the logo. So you want to make sure that all these points are actually laid down in the contract, starting from what you'll be doing to the timeline and to the payment terms and conditions also. So you want to make sure that everything is written down. If you're using Fiverr, you can use that project description, yeah, like the offer description, so you can write it in there. Make sure you write everything. And also you want to include the number of revision you'll be putting in, because in this example, the clear boundaries ensure that both you and your clients understand exactly what is covered by the agreement. So please write it down. Write everything you will be doing, right from the payments to everything. Every detail should be written down, and you and the client should come to an agreement before you can move on with the project. Please make sure you do this, because it is very important. So the next thing you want to do is you want to communicate effectively. And trust me, when you are trying to handle difficult clients, communicating effectively can actually help you send clear messages. For example, let's say you're a web developer, you're working on a website redesign for a client. When you first start the project, you might want to send an email outlining the initial steps and asking for specific details. So you can send an email that look like this: I, then the client's name. I am excited to start working on your website redesign. To ensure I meet your expectation, could you provide more details on the following: the color, the scheme you prefer, and any specific feature you want on the home page, and also examples of websites you like. So this will help me create a design that aligns with your vision. Thank you. This kind of email actually makes it very clear what you want from the client, and it will help them provide the necessary information upfront. So by you sending this email, you are trying to ask them what exactly you need from them, because you want to make sure that you allow them to give in all the specific details you'll be needing for you to carry out the job, especially the way they want. Okay, so sometimes they might respond with something like, I actually do not have anyone I like. So they might say they want something more modern. Yeah. Or they might say they want something classy. Or they might say they want something, just good. Don't fall for it. Actually, don't hesitate to ask them what exactly do they need. Like, you should specify what modern means in their dictionary, or what classic look like. Whatever word they use, ask them to specify what exactly that looks like, because that will help you. Some clients do not actually know what they actually want, so you want to make sure that you ask them, what do you want? And when you are able to ask them this question, it actually even helps you, because you are moving in a particular direction, which is also the client's direction. So don't try to think for your clients. Make sure you understand what they want. Don't say I think they want this. Say I understand they want this. So there are two different things. Make sure you actually understand the specific things that they require or that they want. Another way of communication is to ensure that you are sending them weekly updates. So I advise it is weekly. You can send it through email, or you can send it through your project management tool like Notion, to also help you and the client to be on the same page, because you wouldn't want to start the project, get to the middle of it, finish it, then you now discover that is not what the client wants. So giving these weekly updates will help them see where you are, and they can be able to give necessary adjustments. They can be able to tell you, okay, I need to adjust this, I need to adjust that. It will actually help you also not to waste your time and waste your energy. And another point is that you maintain professionalism. So maintaining professionalism is very, very crucial. Even when you are dealing with a difficult client, it is important that you stay calm and don't let emotions drown you. It is very, very, very hard, especially when you are talking to clients who might be rude, or clients that actually belittle your work. And trying to be calm in this situation is very hard. I won't lie to you, we are humans, and it is very, very hard. So rather than letting your emotions take over, you want to calm down and focus on a way to get out of that situation. Focus on how to provide solutions. Yeah, and even if there is insult and things like that, don't give it back. Yeah, so don't say my client insulted me, so I am free to insult back. No, it is very, very hard, because you might want to insult back, you might want to say things that they said to you back, but you just need to calm down, take a deep breath, yeah, and answer their questions professionally. So if they keep making requests, they keep making changes that you are actually forced to start the project all over again, say something like this to them: I, then the client's name, I understand that you want to shift your focus from this to this. Since we initially agreed that you will be doing this, let's discuss how this change might impact the project timeline and any additional work required. I am happy to adjust the contract, and if you are free, we can schedule a brief call on how to stay on track. So be professional. Don't fight back. To prevent the situation from getting more stressful, more tensed, more, take, and focus more on problem solving. So even if a client is becoming challenging and disrespectful, so your goal is to address their needs while making sure that you keep the project on track, while making sure that you are keeping your emotions in check. Sometimes you want to scream at them, and sometimes you want to actually insult them back, but don't do that. So another thing you want to do is to have a revision policy. Having a revision policy is very, very important in managing your client expectation and protecting your time. Very important, because let's say you're a graphic designer, for example, and you're working on a new brochure for a client. So to avoid confusion, you need to clearly define how many revisions you'll be doing and what will happen if the client requests additional changes. What some clients do that is actually kind of painful sometimes is that they ask for revisions, and you might have stipulated that you are only having access to 5 revisions. Then they might still come up with a lot more revisions, and to curb this thing, you want to put a limit to the number of times they can ask for revision, and you want to tell them that if they are going to be exceeding that number of times, they will have to actually pay extra. Yeah, so that means if you are giving them 3 rounds of revision, the first round they should be able to check the work, check everything that they need to check, and give you the feedback and be able to tell you that they need to change this, they need to change that. So you have 3 chances. I think that's fair enough. They have 3 chances to tell you what they want and how to make it better. And if after that 3 chances they are still adding more revisions to it, you have to tell them categorically that they have to pay maybe $30 or maybe $50 for any extra round of revision they'll be adding. Yeah, this will help you. This will even help protect your time also. You're not just working on that cycle of doing the revision over and over again. So you want to make sure that you cop that. So you want to make sure that you tell them that if the revision goes beyond the agreed amount of revisions, that they will be paying extra for that. Having this revision policy not only protects your time but also help clients to understand the value of the work you are providing to them. So it is a key part of setting clear boundaries and maintaining a smooth workflow throughout the project. Then the next thing you want to do is know when to walk away. Yeah, this is very hard, trust me, because sometimes despite your best efforts, a client relationship might not work out. It is possible that no matter what you do, no matter how much you try to salvage that relationship, it is not going to work out. And the earlier you accept it, the better for you. When a client is becoming more problematic, more disrespectful, more demeaning, it is important to recognize that it is time to walk away. And when you continue to work with such clients, actually, it can negatively impact your mental health, because when you work with this kind of clients, you are stressed, you are nervous all the time, you are just not in the right frame of mind. Sometimes you do not even have time to do other projects because you are always tense when you get projects from them or when they message you. Have you ever had a client whereby if their name should pop up in your email notification, your heart start racing? Yeah. Why will a client message you and you're scared? It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be fair. You shouldn't be stressed. You shouldn't be nervous. And also, when you want to walk away, make sure you walk away also politely. So when you reach that point where you decide that it is best to end the working relationship, and do it professionally, and don't be rude. So you might write an email like this: "Hi, client's name. I hope this message finds you well. After careful consideration, I believe it is best for both of us to end our working relationship at this time. The current project will be completed up to the agreed milestone, and I will provide a final deliverable by so date, and I will also ensure a smooth handover of any material or file that you might need. Thank you for the opportunity to work together, and I wish you all the best in your endeavor." So in this email, you are very clear that you are going to hand over the remaining works and you are going to hand over the project smoothly. So parting ways on a good term is actually very important for maintaining your professional reputation and protecting your well-being. Letting them go professionally and politely will actually help you keep that reputation, so they wouldn't want to leave a bad review or something like that. So it is always better to walk away from a situation that is harming your productivity and mental health. Okay, so that's all. Let's do a quick recap. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set clear boundaries. Make sure you do that. And the next thing you want to do is you want to communicate effectively. And the third thing you want to do is you want to maintain professionalism at all time, and you want to have a clear revision policy, and also you want to know when to walk away. That is the 5 tips you have to handle difficult clients. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more tips on freelancing and building a successful online business.